Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I heard was a song outside my window, and the traffic wrote the words. It came ringing up like Christmas bells, and wrapping up like pipes and drums. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on the day, and we'll wear
Joni
it
Mitchell
till
is a
the
Canadian/American musician, songwriter, singer, producer, and painter. She emerged as a folk singer-songwriter in the 60s and moved into more rock-based stuff in the early 70s. The late 70s, she started to become more jazz. In the 80s, but she went synth pop and electronic. And after that, she kept changing up what she was doing, which is often a good thing. In more recent years, she's had health issues. After she's recovered from that, she's been involved in an archival project. So although the most recent of her 19 studio albums was in 2007, she is now back to performing live. Hi, my name's Dan, and as you can see from my t-shirts, I am not at all embarrassing. So this was the second album by Joni Mitchell, and it's my first encounter with this album. As an album, I do know the song Chelsea Morning. I have come across that before. Some of the songs on this album have already been done by other people, and she established herself by, first of all, selling songs that other people did, and then starting her own solo career, effectively recording some of those and some other songs as well. And I think the description of folk is quite a good description for this album. It's kind of folk singer-songwriter, I would say. It's almost entirely acoustic guitar and singing. There's occasional bits of other instruments. There's occasional bits of harmony singing in here as well. But the big focus is her voice and her guitar. And she uses some quite odd tunings on the guitar, which gives quite different sounds and feels to the music that she's doing. She's very good at playing the guitar. You kind of, this is a job, I guess you'd maybe expect that, but not all guitar-based singer-songwriters are this accomplished. She's pretty good. And her voice is really nice. So it's a kind of clear, strong voice. It's not a blasting voice, but there's a good clarity, and there's a really good kind of accurate hitting the note and that sort of thing. She's got a good range. It's nice to listen to. It's quite emotive, and the songs are that's 2 out of the 3 elements. The third element is the songwriting. So the songs are really kind of pictures of life and various things. There's some social commentary in here. There's some stuff about relationships. So let's pick out a few. So Chelsea Morning, which is the one that I knew, is basically about waking up in Chelsea, which is presumably still an area of New York, and painting that with words. So it's visual imagery done with words, and it has been commented that she likes to do the visual thing with the words, and that may be because she's also a painter, and so she thinks visually about things. The Fiddle and the Drum, I like, is basically about war, and it's talking about giving up the fiddle and taking the drum, which is an allusion to the idea that you get drummers for war, particularly kind of not these days, but in old style war, and that somebody who was a musician might give up the fiddle to join the army and play the drum. There's Roses Blue, which is about an obsession with the occult, not her obsession, somebody else's. There's Both Sides Now, which I really like as a song. It's very clever. It's about dualities of understanding. So I'm going to pick out, I hope this isn't too much of a spoiler. I really enjoyed it when I first listened to it, and I kind of got the comparisons that she does. The album's called Clouds, and the first kind of section of this is about clouds. The second section is about love. And the third section is about life. And the capstone for all 3 of them is I've looked at whatever it is from both sides now, and still somehow it's whatever it is, his illusions I recall. I really don't know whatever it is at all. It's just really nicely done. So I would say it's mature and clever and effective songwriting. There's still a kind of feeling of lightness and innocence at times. Other times it's a bit more disillusioned. But yeah, and my opinion, I love it. It's a really nice album. It's subtle, it's gentle, it's thoughtful, it's fluid, it's got something to say, it's musically very competent and pleasing. So definitely a big from me. So I'd love to know what you think, so please talk to me through the comments box. That's it from me for now.
I think of tears, I think of rain on shingles. I think of rain, I think of roses blue. I think of Rose, my heart begins to tremble to see the place she's